Alright boys, listen up, you're about to learn some shit. So meal timing strategy for optimal gains. So if you're training and you're not seeing the results you want to be seeing, it comes down to your nutrition, specifically your macros. But I posted a separate macro video in this link up here, you can go watch. But for right now, we're actually talking about the meal timing breakdown. So let's say you wake up, you're a busy professional, you're working in a career and you're trying to make time for the gym, make time for your health, so you're confident. You walk into the office and you know you've earned your fucking place in the office. You wake up, let's say 4 a.m. Wake up time 4 a.m. You want to eat. If you're training before work, which most of you guys should be doing, sets you up perfectly for your day. 4:15, meal 1. You want to have a meal that has high fast-acting sugars, high GI carbs, bagel, and jam. Boom. And then you go and train at 5 a.m. You always want to make sure you're eating before you're training. If you're not getting something in, if you're not filling up your muscles with glycogen before you train, 1, you're not going to see the gains you want, and 2, you're going to be at risk at eating away at the muscle as opposed to building the muscle instead. 5 a.m. gym. 5 till, let's say, 6 a.m. And now is all you really need of high intensity focused training. Yeah, no fucking around. Don't sit there on your phone, scrolling through your phone. Get in there, get out, and make it fucking happen. And then again, straight after you finish training, you want to have another meal. That is key. You have a meal right before 45 minutes, half an hour is okay. And then you want to make sure you eat in the next 15 minutes after. If you do your cardio, if you don't have time to break up your cardio between your training and you want to do your weights and your cardio, you want to do your cardio, which is your walking straight after you finish training, but make sure you have a meal in between. Meal, 6 a.m. meal number 2. My go-to is either a Mars Gainer shake straight after the gym before I go and have a proper brekkie, or my high protein Greek yogurt, which has granola, cheese seeds, protein powder, and you mix it up and you fucking taste delicious. So high protein yogurt. So eat again at 6:15, yeah? There we go. Now, you might get into the office around 7 o'clock. So let's say you start working at 7. You might be working in construction, or you might be working in an office job. I was a civil engineer, right? I might not look like a civil engineer, but I started at uni for 5 years doing civil engineering. If you want to learn more about that, I'll put another video up there. So work. You notice that you ate at 6:15. You want to make sure you usually eat in the next 90 minutes after you train and after you have your first meal after your training. So let's say you train from 5 to 6, yeah? You have your meal 2 from 6 to 6:15. What's an hour from that? 7:15, right? So you want to make sure you eat by 7:45 to 8 a.m. at the latest. Let's do 8 a.m. No more than 8 a.m. 90 minutes is a sweet spot. Sometimes you might even need an hour after, depending on the actual micronutrient breakdown of each meal. But that can be a total different video. For right now, we're talking about the timing structure for effective muscle gains, yeah? Meal 3. You want stable carbs that are going to stay in your system for a little bit longer, because now you may be at work and you might not have all the time to be eating consistently. But it's very important you have that meal. My go-to meal is if you're liking the video so far, make sure you subscribe for more. Let's go. So I was on a call with my boys that I coach one-on-one on Sunday, and I was making sure I gave them specific tasks before the next call to send me through the breakdown throughout the day, the macro breakdown that we're going over in this video. And what I found to be the most consistent thing was that, yeah, they were locked in, they were having 5 meals throughout the day, 5, 6 meals like they should be having, because you want to spread your meals across the day. You don't want to have 2 big meals of high carbs, high calories, because your body won't absorb those micronutrients and macronutrients in time, and they will lead to fat gain. And they were very locked in, but they had subtle nuances that they could have improved on, which I improved on in regards to meal timing and the actual macro breakdown of each meal. So let's say you're eating 2,000 calories a day, which is really, really low. and you have 5 meals a day or 6 meals a day, you want to make sure each breakdown of macros throughout each meal is even. So you take 2,000 divided by 5, that'll be 400 calories per meal, give or take. So that's something else there for you boys to pick up on. And watch till the end of the video for the best meal timing strategy to optimize your fucking gains. Let's run it up. Beef and high protein pasta. Meal number 3. And now you notice how you eat right before you train. You eat right after you train, then you eat an hour and a half straight after. That's an hour 45, just to make it easier for you. Or let's say you eat at 6 a.m., you want to eat by 7:30. And then you can kind of start to break it up a little bit more. So it's 8 o'clock, let's say, 7:30, 8 o'clock. Your other meal should ideally come no later than 11:30. That's 3.5 hours. Ideally, let's go 11 a.m. Meal 4. That's when I have my chicken and rice and my protein shake. And that's another big reason why you want to be meal prepping and bringing your meals into work, so you can get results like this, yeah? Now you can kind of start to spread up again even more. You might do 2:30 or 3 o'clock, your meal number 5, right before you finish work. You might finish work at 4 or 5 o'clock. Eat probably around 2:30, 3 o'clock, that's what I would do, yeah? So that's 3 hours after. 2:30 will be 3.5 hours, or if we go for 3 o'clock, that'll be 4 hours after. Meal number 5, what would you have now? You know what? This is what I actually did when I worked in civil construction. I had my yogurt here and I had my mass gainer. Mass gainer shake. Really easy, straight after the gym. You can have it as a protein shake on the way to work. So let's swap these 2 meals around. The time stays the same. But after the gym, you want to have the mass gainer shake, and the high protein yogurt can be before you finish work, right? Hectic. 2:30. You finish work at 5, you get home at 6, you might have dinner around 6:30. So that's 4 hours now. You see how we kind of start to separate a little bit more, because it's training in the morning. So you want to have most of your carbs, most of your protein, most of your macronutrients in around your training. That is key for effective muscle growth, yeah? So what I'll be having, homemade chicken burger and chips. And now, probably around, 8 o'clock, 8:30. Let's go 8 o'clock. If it's within your macros, you can have protein brownies. Protein brownies with high protein milk. The high protein milk will help you get to sleep, and you enjoy a little bit of sugars at the end of the day, which is you rewarding yourself because you've locked in, you've trained in the fucking morning, you've gone up at 4 o'clock to make yourself a priority before work, so you're at the high frequency mode all day, and you know when you walk into the office, you've done the hard shit. That wraps us up, as I said before. Structure your meals close to your training, and then afterwards you can break them up. If you don't want to have meal number 7, if 7 meals is too much for you, I'm having 7 meals at the moment, if that's too much, then you can get rid of the 7th meal, yeah, and space out that meal to maybe 7 p.m. instead. And I will call it a day. If you're stuck with your macros, you can reach out to me on Instagram, I'll help you out, or book in a call with me and let's run this shit up. I'll see you boys on the next one. Hope you found that helpful, and drop in your comments what video you want me to do next, where I break down certain things when it comes to fitness and making the most out of your daily routine. Let's run.